I think that a farmer is someone who does have his or her hands in everything. A farm should be a place where care and affection are kind of the values that you center things around. One of the things I love about it is the variation in routine. How are we doing, ladies? There's always an adventure. I love that. There's something in my personality that really jives with every day being different. To return to what I knew was important, to have a place, to stop being a transient family, to stop being a transient person, and to say, this is our home. My name is Hunter Smith, and I played 10 years for the Indianapolis Colts.
Batted to Amici. Amici powers in.
10, 5, touchdown, Eric!
The Indianapolis Colts select Peyton Manning.
And Harrison will take, yes he can, retain control.
Colts of Indianapolis win Super Bowl 41.
So yesterday I came out here and this mama cow was standing off by herself, and that either means they're sick or having a calf. I walked around and watched her eyes, and she started looking off in one direction, so I walked in the direction she was looking, and there he was. When I retired, I looked around at where my people were, where I had relationships. Where so many formative years had been spent. Indianapolis was that place. Well, everybody had such a good experience playing here.
Hunter Smith to hold. Jets going to rush up the middle. They're going to run it. Hunter Smith gets the outside. He's at 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! Fake field goal. And Hunter Smith runs it in.
We were so welcomed. I think that everybody enjoyed the fans enjoyed us. And then from there, we went on out into the communities and found that these are very relatable people. We were all in our 20s and 30s, and we started getting married and having children and putting those kids in school and realizing the schools are great, the people are great. This is home. Go ahead. Come on. It's all right here. We were kind of typical young football player family. I was done. I went and played 2 years for Washington after I played for the Colts. We came back here and I was looking around my life. I was looking at my family, at my children, at myself, and just kind of making some evaluations. And I didn't like a lot of things that I saw. I started looking at my past and what made me who I am, and I look back at my parents and where I grew up, and I grew up on a ranch in Texas, and I just said, so many good things about me were learned or formed through the medium of agriculture. And I went in one day and said, I think we need to sell our house, and my wife agreed, and we sold our big, scary, ostentatious house, and we bought a farm and changed everything. Hey boys, how are we doing? How's that spot on you? Is you okay? The day I left Texas, I just thought I'll be back here someday. And I think I thought I'd be back there on my parents' farm. They made great sacrifices to raise us in an agricultural environment. And my dad is dying now, and he's very sick. It means a lot for me to go back now and talk to my dad about the farm and tell him what I'm doing and show him pictures of things, and to be able to show my kids a measure of what I was raised with. When I looked back on my life, what I had to offer my kids, so much of it came from him. I don't farm out of an obligation to him, but I do farm in honor of him. I came out here one day and I was clearing and cutting down some scrub brush and everything, and this started to emerge. And then I saw a limb out there about 150 feet. I couldn't figure out where that was coming from. I followed it back down to this trunk. And like I said, you can't imagine how much stuff there was growing. I did a little research on it after the big reveal. And it's a white oak, and given the circumference of the trunk and the species, I found out that it's about 340 years old. And so, you have to think about that's 185 years old at the Civil War. It was already a real big tree. And my kids would start thinking about things like, how many people have slept underneath this tree? How many, all the things, why does it lean? How many times has it been struck by lightning? They started to wonder. As the wondering increased, we just kind of decided to call it the Wonder Tree, because it made everybody think so much, everybody wonder about its origins and its life and what all it has witnessed. And from there, we decided to name the place Wonder Tree Farm. I don't know, maybe it says something about the simplicity of my brain, but I love collecting eggs. My goodness. I don't know, that never gets old, walking out there and opening up, opening up the laying boxes and going, they did it again. I love that. I grew up in a musical family. We all sang a lot, played a few instruments. And truthfully, when you're the punter on a Peyton Manning-led offense, you just have to develop your other talents, because you don't do a whole lot of playing. I bought a guitar for the locker room. I still have it. Hung it in my locker. It stayed there for 6 or 7 years. And if you were a sweet melody, I would sing to you. The way you go is how I go. Wrote a lot of songs on it. When I retired from the NFL, I kind of looked around and thought, what do I want to do? Love, 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 down the road, the way you go. I thought, well, I can play music. And then I thought, well, I'm really lonely doing this. Band is better.
Moonlight showing you the way out. No time to turn you around.
Got together with some good friends of mine that were good musicians from town, guys that don't even really care about football.
Hey, there's nothing like June with my hometown girl and an Indiana moon.
We started the Hunter Smith Band. We just started turning over rocks and saying, where can you play music in Indiana? That's our market. And we, over the last 7 or 8 years, played every little burg, ville, festival, fair, and have had a ball connecting with the people of this great state. Music's not something that you can stop. You can run out of the ability to play pickup basketball at some point, but even when my old hands are unable to play the guitar, my voice doesn't sing anymore, I'll still have music in my head and in my heart. Thank you, baby. This is Sherman, Texas, which is my hometown. His name is Sherman, Texas. Just goes by Sherman. You go here.
Oh, okay.
And then you go back through it.
Okay.
And then you go underneath it, back. On farm day, which is where we invite people out. People are here, let's go park. People can see the farm and buy our food. Oh, hey, how are you doing? Good to see you guys. Welcome back. Well, a lot of them come with 2 or 3 kids and they say, I was raised this way. I wanted this for my kids. Thank you, because now we have a place where we can bring them and experience it. There's so many people here, I don't even know you, and I know that in your life somewhere, there is an agricultural heritage. Arnie is our farm dog, and he thinks he's 120 pounds. We said, we'll never have a dog And then that turned into 500 animals and 500 people every Saturday. Yeah. So, can you say giddy up? Put your arms around my neck here. There we go. There we go. All right. Say bye, Sonny. Everybody has a role. And my wife gives pony wagon rides. My wife, who was raised on a cul-de-sac in Carmel, now jostles around with a pony, with a wagon full of kids giving pony rides, and it's glorious. Hello, hello. You got the good stuff, baby. But one of the things we really resist is the idea that a professional athlete has opened a petting zoo. That is not what Wonder Tree is. Wonder Tree is a food source. The jowl bacon is, if I was coming here to make breakfast, that's the one I'm picking. The people who buy from us are people who care about their health.
We did the beef roast, delicious.
It's different, isn't it?
So good.
Yeah, I'm so glad.
Oh my gosh, we loved it.
On our farm, we practice something called biomimicry, and that is looking into nature at different animal types and seeing what they eat naturally and trying to mimic that. We raise all of our animals through intensive rotational grazing. Everything is non-GMO, and everything is healthy. It's what we eat. We kind of go by the One Health idea that whatever is good for the earth is good for your body also. We are definitely a production farm that offers a farm experience as well. To be able to show my kids a measure of what I was raised with. There's great value in that. And then to be able to work together as a family, bringing the whole thing together and being able to do something that's meaningful on a number of levels together. You know, I feel like life should be a series of passing along things that matter. And so to have received something that I can pass along and to complete that cycle of passing it along, it's one of the great thrills of my life.
Let's hide behind the chainsaws.
Smart. Yeah, okay.
If you're in a horror movie, you make poor decisions. It's what you do.
This was a good idea.
If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.